Hey friends, today we have a bunch of interesting news from the world of gaming. Lucas, are you ready?
Always ready, Alice. Let's go.
So, from the latest news, it seems Sony is trying to redeem themselves because before that, Sony was in the spotlight and not everyone would want that kind of attention. They decided that service-based games are the future. You know, like they always decide something and then realize it was a terrible idea.
Yeah, Concord became their next failure. But honestly, I'm not surprised. Sony has been trying to punch above their weight for a while, but all they've done is fall flat on their face.
True, but now they're backtracking on their decisions. PSN on PC is no longer mandatory. But damn, how much time and nerves this cost the players.
So let's break down what went wrong. Sony decided that live service games were a goldmine. They planned to release a bunch of them, but Concord became their embarrassment, something they'll be reminded of for a long time.
Oh, Concord! The game that made everyone go, what? It was supposed to be a hit, but instead it turned into a cautionary tale.
After Concord, Sony started canceling projects left and right. Bungie took the hardest hit. A lot of gamers have been unhappy since Sony bought the company behind Destiny 2. After that, Bungie's development slowed. DLC releases got delayed, and there was no more hype around the game. People just started leaving the game. The same thing happened with their entire live service game strategy. Everything went down the drain.
Woo! But it got worse. They thought PSN would be the golden ticket on PC. Like, hey, let's make PSN mandatory for all our games. Spoiler, it didn't work.
Yeah, deciding to tie PSN to single-player games like God of War Ragnarok, Ghost of Tsushima, and other upcoming titles was a very questionable move, especially considering that around 180 countries around the world have no official access to PSN. Brilliant move, Sony.
Moving on. After all these changes, Sony's focus shifted to the Horizon universe. Now, Sony thought this was their golden goose. Horizon Zero Dawn, Horizon Forbidden West, the VR spin-off, the Lego game. They even planned an MMO and live service games in the same universe.
And they would definitely add their NFT donation system to this Horizon MMO to keep milking money from gamers.
Exactly. How do they not get that not every franchise needs to be milked for everything it's worth? They have a perfect example, showing that less can mean more.
I agree. Astrobot saved the day. That little guy literally carried Sony's reputation on his tiny shoulders.
Exactly. Astrobot was a breath of fresh air, a simple, fun platformer which cost much less than Sony's other projects, and reminded us why we love games. And that's why it won Game of the Year.
That was a shock for me, because I was personally rooting for Elden Ring's Shadow of the Erd Tree, where the DLC was literally as big as a full game. I wouldn't have minded if Black Myth Wukong had topped the list with its unique visual style, deep immersion in Chinese mythology, and gripping gameplay. But at the same time, I understand why the Olympus was awarded to Astrobot. This game has become a true masterpiece of platformers, a kind of new Mario for PlayStation, combining charming design, innovative use of DualSense technology, and incredibly engaging gameplay that has won over both critics and players alike.
Anyway, to sum it up, take notes, Sony.
So, what's next for Sony? They have new leadership, and it seems like they're finally abandoning the madness of live service games. Hiroki Totoki is now at the helm, and he's bringing Sony back to its roots.
Finally, maybe we'll see more games like Astrobot and less, well, disasters like Concord.
Exactly. And finally, they're making PSN optional on PC. No more mandatory account linking for single-player games. Although, as far as I know, some games, even after PSN disappeared, still haven't reappeared on Steam.
Fingers crossed, at least they're trying. That counts for something, right?
And let's not dwell on what will happen. Time will pass, and we'll see. Better to move on to the next piece of news.
All right. Lucas, have you heard about Star Citizen? It's basically a cosmic saga about how to develop a game forever. It's been 13 years, and they're still promising that everything will be ready any minute now. You know, like that joke, it's coming soon, but not right now.
Haha, yeah. Star Citizen is like a black hole. Money, time, and hopes go in, but nothing comes out. But you know what's the funniest part? People keep believing in it and throwing millions of dollars at it. It's like some kind of cult.
A cult? This isn't a cult, it's already a religion. Have you seen how much they've raised? Over $500 million? And what do we have? Bugs, bugs, and more bugs. People can't even fly out of the hangar without the game crashing.
Yeah, well, at least they now have ships that cost $10,000. Can you imagine? For that kind of money, you could buy a real spaceship, or at least a ticket to SpaceX.
Lucas, you're being too rational. It's not about the ships, it's about the dream. The dream that someday, maybe in another 10 years, we'll be able to fly to another planet and run into bugs again.
Dreams are good, but I'd rather dream about something more real. Like, for the developers to fix the bug with the hangar exit, that would be progress. So, what's next in the news?
Well, here's a funny one. Did you hear about Nintendo? They lost a lawsuit to some supermarket over the name Super Mario. This is just gold.
No, yeah, I saw that. Turns out the store owner named it after his father, Mario. And the court ruled in his favor. Nintendo, of course, tried to prove that it's their brand. But I guess a dad's name is more important.
Now Nintendo has to accept the fact that somewhere in the world, there's a Super Mario that doesn't jump on mushrooms, but sells them.
Well, now they have the perfect excuse to release a game called Super Mario Supermarket. Can you imagine? Mario runs through the aisles, collects discounts, and fights the final boss, a cash register.
Lucas, you're a genius. This is a hit on the level of Astrobot. Nintendo, if you're listening, we're ready to help with the concept. Just don't forget the bonus level where Mario has to make it before the store closes. Now news from the realm of the grind masters and the lords of farming. In other words, your domain, Lucas. Elon Musk broke the rules in Path of Exile 2. He hired a Chinese player to grind for him. This is a whole new level of laziness.
Now, well, I get it. I often want to try out a new build, but to do that, I have to go through the entire storyline again up to the Atlas, and that takes me days. But if you have billions, why play yourself when you can hire someone? The funniest part is that the game's fans are outraged. Everyone is demanding an immediate ban for him since, normally, after a few warnings, people get mercilessly banned for this.
Well, of course, they're outraged. But I can also understand the developers. It's Elon Musk. He could buy not just a Chinese player, but the entire game if he wanted to. And then he'd release it under the name Tesla Electric Exile. If I were the developers, I wouldn't pick a fight with him.
Yeah, and instead of mana, you'd have a battery charge. And if it runs out, your character will just lie down and say, "I can't, my battery is low."
But you know what's even funnier? If Elon Musk actually released a game, it would probably keep getting delayed. Just like all his projects.
Isn't Elon Musk the one trying to release Star Citizen? It all adds up. Space. An incredibly long development cycle.
You know, you might be on to something. But I think even he wouldn't have that many bugs. Let's move on to the next news story.
Now, I think there's some news about Pokémon.
That's right. So, I guess you've already heard about that manager from Singapore who stole $500,000 and spent it all on Pokémon cards? That's a whole new level of obsession.
Yeah, I read about it this morning. But I thought Pokémon were supposed to be caught, not stolen. And you know what's even funnier? He didn't just steal them. He actually bragged about his collection to other fans.
Well, of course he bragged. It's Pokémon. Can you imagine him sitting in prison thinking, well, at least I still have Pikachu?
Yeah, and now his cellmates will be like, "So, loser, gonna show us your collection?" And he'll be like, "Yeah, but only through the glass."
Lucas, you're too cynical. Maybe he just wanted to catch them all so he could feel like a real Pokémon trainer. You know, like Ash, just with a criminal twist.
And now some news from your favorite game. There's a story about a UFC fighter who flew to another city just to put a chokehold on a player who insulted him in Fortnite. This is next-level gamer revenge. But that's not even the craziest part. He didn't just fly there, he did it live on stream.
Now all gamers will think twice before insulting UFC fighters in Fortnite. Otherwise, they might hear an unexpected knock at the door.
Exactly. So, better watch your mouth while gaming. I'm not flying over to save you.
So Nvidia's new graphics cards are coming out, and the reviews aren't exactly kind. Take the RTX 5070, for example. People say it might actually be slower than the RTX 4070 Super. How does that even happen? A new generation with worse performance?
Yeah, that's how it is. The RTX 5070 has 14% fewer CUDA cores and texture units. It's like buying a new phone and realizing it's slower than your old one. Basically, Nvidia is saying, we improved everything except performance.
You know what's funny? It's Nvidia. They always go, here's a new graphics card. It's better, faster, stronger. And then it turns out it's just more expensive.
Exactly. And now everyone's asking, why would I get an RTX 5070 if my 4070 Super still does the job? But you know what? That's just marketing. They do this on purpose to make you think, maybe I should just get a RTX 5090 instead.
Next up, some absolutely illogical moves from Rockstar. Do you know anything about GTA Vice City Nextgen Edition? Fans created a mod on the GTA 4 engine, and it turned out to be better than the official definitive edition from Rockstar.
Yeah, I saw it. It's a masterpiece. Fans improved the physics, added new features, and all of that for free. And what did Rockstar do? They released the definitive edition with bugs and graphics that look like PlayStation 2.
You know what's the funniest part? Take-Two banned the YouTube and Telegram channels of the mod creators. It's like we can't make the game better, but we can ban those who did. Who even are these Take-Two? Why do they get to command Rockstar?
Well, Take-Two Interactive is the parent company of Rockstar Games. In 1998, Take-Two acquired the assets of BMG Interactive and created Rockstar Games from them. So, Rockstar Games operates as a subsidiary of Take-Two Interactive. And here, it's really sad for gamers. People wanted to play an improved version of the game, and Take-Two says, no, play our crap.
Lucas, you're too harsh. Maybe they're just scared of the competition. Their strategy is, if you can't make it better, just ban those who did.
This strategy is complete nonsense. The game is 22 years old, its sales are dead. This could have saved it. There are plenty of games that are literally dug up from the grave and given new life through mods. Take Minecraft, Skyrim, Gothic 2, and other games that keep their online alive for years through mods. Even the recently released Baldur's Gate 3 boosted its online by supporting mods. So with such a mod, Vice City's sales would have definitely gone up, but now they stay stagnant.
Let's hope Take-Two comes to their senses and resolves this issue properly. Well, friends, that's the end of today's episode. We covered a lot of interesting and sometimes downright absurd gaming news. As always, we had a blast, and we hope you did too.
Yeah, and if you liked our breakdown, don't forget to give us a like, subscribe to our channel, and of course, leave a comment. Your opinions are very important to us. There's a lot here that needs changes, so share your advice.
Don't be shy to share this video with your friends.
And if you want to stay updated with the latest news and not miss the next episode, check out our social media. All the links are in the description below the video.
Good luck. Bye-bye.